Hi, readers and listeners. Dylan Wilder Quinn here, founder of Wildly Healed, here with your question of the week. I'm feeling the outside energy today, so I hope you enjoy the relaxing energy as well as the cawing crows and growling cars behind me as you finish up your Monday. I've been diving deep into the Fool card this weekend for myself, and I've been really wondering what it means for me personally, and I wanted to give you all the gift of experiencing your inner Fool as well. So, this is the Fool card, and the Fool is our innermost child. And I don't mean that wounded part of us that still needs healing parenting. I'm sure that will come up in plenty of readings later. But today I want to focus on the inner child who fearlessly wanders into new adventures because they're curious and excited, who gets so excited to learn how their bike works that they take it apart before they think about having to put it back together, who runs off through the woods naked, picking fresh, plump berries off of their stalks. This is the child who hasn't yet learned that they have a parent who will stop them shouting the words "no" and "safety first." This child is curious with the innocence of not yet experiencing too many traumas in their world. In our adult world, this inner child shows up when they want to shake their booty on the dance floor, stomp their feet around a bonfire, and let loose to the deep jazz of Mardi Gras in New Orleans or the rhythms of Carnival. This child is wild. So, Bill Plotkin, who is the author of a lot of my favorite books, talks about Western psychology, or in simpler words, therapy, as you might have heard. And it's over focus on our wounds, healing our past wounds, healing our intergenerational trauma, and how there's now a need more than ever to celebrate what humans can naturally do right. That I'm not talking about ignoring the shootings, the racism, the homophobia that's now at the forefront of our media's consciousness. And I say specifically the media's consciousness rather than our collective consciousness, because for many of us, specifically people of color and LGBTQ people, this has been our lived experience of our people for centuries. Um, I'm not talking about shoving the bad under the rug so that we can, focus on the positive. That doesn't fix anything. But while fighting for fixing what's wrong with the way, humans are interacting, while fighting for that healing of our wounds, um, with our violence, with fear, with holding power over one another, we must also celebrate what we naturally do right. Partly to help us heal from the wounds we inflict on each other, and partly as a way to build trust and relationships with each other as we move forward and build with one another. Humans are instinctive. Humans are animals. Humans have primal attachment to those closest to us, and we want to love. We have adventurous instincts that, as we get older, often get dampened by the everyday need to pay bills, survive, and tune out a bit with cute videos of pandas and cats on the internet. But like those cute animals on YouTube, we like to play. This is the week to get in touch with our inner Fool, the inner child within us who wants to adventure by instinct and play, bringing laughter and goofiness into our lives. This is the week for healing through play and instinct, through letting our inner animal out. For my activist readers, this is a week for building relationships through silliness and fun to keep the movement strong, resilient, and sustainable. So this brings us to the question of our week. Where can we bring the Fool into our lives this week? So you can see the spread on the blog that I used, but it's the Fool on top with 3 other cards that came up just from shuffling and picking from the deck. And the first card that came up underneath the Fool is the reversed Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups upright, it's a shower of love and affection, an abundance of adoration. It's, everything that you would want from someone that you yourself admire. Reversed, it means exactly the same thing. Adoration, admiration, with one key difference. You don't want it. So maybe you have someone in your life who's doting on you and you just want space. Maybe you have a not so secret admirer sending you texts too often, or a younger colleague who admires you and they're looking for mentorship at a time when you need to focus on a work deadline. Maybe there's an acquaintance ready to take a dive into deep friendship with you, and you are still really digging wading in the kiddie pool with them. Regardless, this is the week to address it with your inner fool. What would your inner child do as your instinctive, most playfully adventurous self? You'd probably be direct with them. Remember, this is before your inner child learned that there were ways to be polite or that conflict was scary. Be honest with them. I'm not interested in you. I can't connect with you this week, but I'm interested in getting a cup of coffee with you in the future when things slow down. Only if this is true for you. This person will be grateful that you're honest with them rather than continuing to put their energy into doting on someone who isn't interested. Now, the second and third card are so connected. The Sun and Pan, both also reversed, that I have to read them together. So, first, the Sun. The Sun is not surprisingly all about happiness, joy, celebration, fun, recreation. So think about summer barbecue on the lake with all of your dream floaties you most want to buy, like we all dream. Think about how you feel floating on that lake with your good friends and family in the middle of the summer, stomach full of your favorite summer foods. That is your Sun card. Reversed, it's the same, which is great, just to a slightly lesser extent. So you may be making a lot of fun with fewer resources, or even more likely this week, using fun and recreation to relax, heal, and support your loved ones through the recent national tragedies and maybe some personal traumas you've been experiencing. So if your spirit is feeling tired, now is the time to rejuvenate it through some play before diving back into the tough stuff again. Now, Pan is all about our inner animal, our primal instinct, our indulgence. It's not really a surprise that it came up when talking about the Fool. It's specifically talking, when it's upright, about our indulgence in our vices and taboo activities. And sometimes it can even mean escapism. So you really have to watch out for the devil, or for Pan, also known as the devil in other decks. Reversed, however, as it shows up in our spread this week, it's a freedom, it's a release from reliance on worldly matters, it's looking ahead, cutting off negative influences, and moving forward. So this is all about getting in touch with what your primal animal self wants to be doing this week, to cut free, to feel a feeling of freedom, and to do it. So maybe you want to jump into a lake or dance for hours. Maybe you want to connect with a person you've been admiring, consensually, of course. So breathe and embody yourself while you're following your instincts, so you can fully experience what following your instincts feels like in your body. You'll create a stronger memory in your brain, and your brain will crave these embodied instinctive experiences more often. So this is a chance to really give yourself some instinctive animalistic treats this week. The sunshine makes these cards look a little different. So the fun and playfulness of the Sun and the animal instinct of Pan come together to embody the inner child of the Fool I was talking about earlier. So this is a week for relaxing with your community as much as you can in a playful or competitive way. Play games, play sports, dance wildly, romp around in the woods, relax, follow your instincts, build relationships, and play. Be wild. So a few announcements before I close out. I'm still offering free tarot readings for healing for people of color following the shootings of Black and Latinx people this week and last week. So please email me at dylan.wilder.quinn@gmail.com. Email is also listed on my website, and there is a link to my website in the comments of this video. so that you can set up your readings. And please spread the word to any people of color that you might know that might benefit from a free tarot reading. And then this Friday, the sun just came out. This Friday, July 22nd, is one of 2 Pay What You Can Fridays this month where you choose how much you can pay for a tarot reading. And you can again sign up for a slot on my website, DylanWilderQuinn.com. And again, there's a link to that on in the comments of this YouTube video. So one more comment, I use they in my blogs rather than he, she, or he or she because it's simpler, faster, and inclusive of all people who don't fall along the gender spectrum as either he or she. And it also still includes people who identify as he or she. Conveniently, I'm one of those people, so I'm working to create a world where I belong to. So happy tarot reading, happy living this week, and see you all next week.